And let's begin this Monday morning by getting you all the updates coming in from the national capital, from Jahangirpuri, where on Saturday evening during Hanuman Jayanti celebrations, an ugly communal clash broke out. That's right. This kind of a situation is unfolding in the national capital and it's led to a full-blown political war of words between parties. The BJP is now demanding for an NIA probe into the clashes. BJP MP Hansraj Hans claimed that the Jahangirpuri incident was an international conspiracy to defame India. MNS chief Raj Thackeray has called for tit-for-tat response to such violent incidents. Meanwhile, a letter petition has been shot off to the Chief Justice of India, N.V. Ramana, to take suo motu cognizance of the riots. The Delhi-based lawyer who's written to the CJI has alleged that the Delhi police investigation so far has been partial, has been communal and directly shielding perpetrators of the riots. This as all of the arrested so far have been from one community, all Muslims. The AIMIM chief, Asaduddin Owaisi, has also highlighted exactly that. He's also targeted Union Home Minister Amit Shah for the violence, saying that clashes have become more common in Delhi after Shah took charge of the Home Ministry. In the violence that broke out on Saturday, 20 people, including the prime accused, have been arrested. 10 teams right now are carrying out the investigation. The Delhi Police Crime Branch has taken over the probe. 200 violence videos have been taken in by the cops. They're currently being examined to identify all of the accused.
मैंने यही पाया कि पीछे कोई साजिश है, जैसे सीक्वेंस बना के पहले किसी और स्टेट में फिर कोई ना कोई हो सकता है विदेश से कोई ऐसा कोई नेगेटिव बैड एलिमेंट्स हैं जिनका काम है, उनका कोई धर्म नहीं होता, उनका कोई मजहब नहीं होता, जालिम का धर्म जुल्म होता है।
yesterday in Delhi प्रोसेशन हो रहा था हनुमान जयंती पे और स्टोन पेल्टिंग हुआ वो प्रोसेशन पे, उसको रास्ता
मुझे लगता है उनका ऐसी चीजों का जवाब वैसे ही देना चाहिए उन लोगों को, अदरवाइज उनको समझ में नहीं आएगा।
Stone pelting, swords brandished, violence and arson. Around 5:40 p.m. on Saturday, a Hanuman Jayanti Shobha Yatra in northwest Delhi's Jahangirpuri flared up just before locals in the area were going to offer namaz at the mosque. Stones and glass bottles were allegedly pelted at the procession. Several vehicles were torched.
इस चौराहे पे हंगामा शुरू हो गया, एक शोर उठा, लोग इधर उधर भागने लगे और पथराव शुरू हो गया। सिर्फ पथराव ही नहीं, आप देख सकते हैं जगह जगह ज़मीन पर कांच के टुकड़े पड़े हुए हैं, पत्थर पड़े हुए हैं। कांच के टुकड़े गवाही दे रहे हैं कि इस उपद्रव में शराब की, बियर की बोतलों का इस्तेमाल किया गया। एक दूसरे को ऊपर इस तरह से हमले किए गए और जगह जगह बिखरे हुए हैं। गाड़ियों में आगजनी कर दी गई। एक दो दुकानें ऐसी हैं जिनका दुकानदारों का ये कहना है कि उनकी दुकान में लूटपाट भी की गई, वो डर के मारे दुकान के अंदर जाकर छुप गए थे। कहा यह जा रहा है कि इस इलाके में एक मस्जिद मौजूद है, जब जुलूस वहां पे पहुंचा उसके बाद जो नारेबाजी हो रही थी उसको लेकर कोई विवाद शुरू हुआ और विवाद इतना बढ़ गया कि वो पथराव में तब्दील हो गया।
Violent clashes between two communities led to at least 6 cops being injured.
आपके हाथ में गोली लगी है? तो क्या उस वक्त क्या हुआ था? आप हिंसा के दौरान वहां मौजूद थे, हुआ क्या था एग्जैक्टली? हैं? भीड़ में से गोली मारी आपको?
Some locals say that there was ruckus just before the Shobha Yatra reached the mosque because of the loud music, and that some people allegedly tried to put a saffron flag out there.
दिल से मानते हैं, हम कोई नारे लगा के ड्रामाबाजी करके शो नहीं दिखाते। और आने के बाद इन्होंने क्या किया, मस्जिद के अंदर चढ़ने के बाद झंडा लगाया, और जब झंडा लगाया तो हमने उन्हें रोका। जब हमने रोका तो उन्होंने हम पे पत्थर, लाठी जो भी थे उन्होंने चार्ज किया। जब चार्ज किया तो हम सारे आ गए, क्योंकि देखो जब जान जा रही है तो हमारा काम है बचाना, मरने का तो काम नहीं है। मालिक ने हमें भी हाथ पैर दिया है तो हमने बस वो काम किया।
को पहले यहाँ से भगाया, खदेड़ा यहाँ से, फिर वहाँ से वो 4 पुलिस वाले लेकर आए, फिर जय श्री राम, फिर हंगामा कराया उन्होंने, फिर उन पे पथराव हुआ है, फिर उन्होंने पथराव किया, फिर पथराव करके वो कभी वो उधर भाग रहे, फिर इधर भाग रहे। अगर पुलिस होती तो वहाँ पे झगड़ा ही नहीं होता।
Police say that there was heavy stone pelting from both sides. The situation was brought under control after almost 2 hours at about 8 p.m. Teams of Rapid Action Force and the CRPF were deployed. Home Minister Amit Shah took stock of the situation on ground.
पुलिस जो मौजूद थी उसने इमीडिएटली इस सिचुएशन को कंटेन किया और शांति व्यवस्था को बहाल किया। इस प्रक्रिया में कुछ पुलिस वाले घायल हुए हैं और बाकी हम लोगों ने केस दर्ज कर दिया है और इसकी विवेचना, इसका इन्वेस्टिगेशन शुरू हो गया। इन्वेस्टिगेशन से बातें आगे पता लगेगी।
जाहिर है कि इस पूरे मामले में दिल्ली पुलिस का रुख साफ है कि कार्रवाई सख्त से सख्त की जाएगी और आज तमाम इस पूरे इलाके में रैपिड एक्शन फोर्स, दिल्ली पुलिस के जवान, दिल्ली पुलिस के कमांडो सब तैनात हैं और इस बात की कोशिश की जा रही है कि यहाँ पर किसी भी तरह की बदअमनी ना फैल सके।
Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal appealed for peace.
सब लोगों को शांति बनाए रखनी है, सब लोगों को व्यवस्था बनाए रखनी है और अगर ज़रूरत पड़े तो जो एजेंसीज़ हैं, जो पुलिस है, जो सरकारें हैं जिनकी जिम्मेदारी है, दिल्ली में केंद्र सरकार की जिम्मेदारी है, तो केंद्र सरकार दिल्ली में शांति व्यवस्था बनाए रखे।
But not surprisingly, politics erupted soon after the clashes.
ये छोटे छोटे आतंकी हमले देश भर में करने की कोशिश, देश का माहौल बिगाड़ने की कोशिश, राम भक्तों को, हनुमान भक्तों को, हिंदुओं को दहशत में लाने की, डराने की कोशिश। छतों में पहले से पत्थर इकट्ठे हैं, बम इकट्ठे हैं, बारूद इकट्ठा है। इसके खिलाफ बहुत निर्णायक कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए। जैसे दिल्ली में दंगे हुए थे उसी प्रकार के दंगों की साजिश है।
और मैं मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी से भी निवेदन करूंगा कि ये समय घटना से पल्ला झाड़ने का नहीं है, जिम्मेदारी से भागने का नहीं है। मिल करके ऐसी घटनाओं में दोषी को सजा दिलाने के लिए आगे आना चाहिए।
Delhi police sources say it is suspected that some shots were fired during the riots too. Drones have been deployed to investigate if the violence was pre-planned and if stones were being hoarded on rooftops to provoke. There are many questions that arise, but only a thorough probe will be able to answer them. With Arvind Oja and Tasneem Haider, Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's take this across now for all the updates from the ground. Ashutosh Mishra is joining us live from Jahangirpuri. This is the part of Delhi where these riots broke out on Saturday. Ashutosh, before we discuss the latest on the investigation front, just give us a sense of what's the situation on the ground, because I understand there's unprecedented security and Delhi cops are leaving nothing to chance, really.
Well, absolutely. I mean, the police and the security agencies are not ready to take any chance. But for now, situation has come to absolutely normal. This is just another day for Jahangirpuri. Totally traffic jam-packed. All lanes, all shops are now can see open. Vegetable sellers, milk shops, everything is open. But yes, there is heavy deployment of the CRP, rapid, the anti-riot force. In the meanwhile, the forensic teams have, they have also here. They are visiting the scientific evidences. Of course, those are going to be really critical in terms of investigation. But for now, situation is totally on peace, calm here. All the roads that I see are completely surrounded by traffic, though there were multiple restrictions. Yesterday, barricades, everything have been removed. So for the people, it is just another day. But of course, there were apprehension, there were concern what had happened day before yesterday, whether it's gonna fan out further. But, it was the effort by the security, by the police. They have doused totally the stress. As far as investigation is concerned, we have seen several arrests have been made to the prime accused. They, of course, they will be produced again before the court, and the crime branch, since investigating this entire case, they will seek custody of the accused. In the meanwhile, the major question that is now being raised, in fact, one lawyer has approached to the Supreme Court seeking why only the members from one community, have been arrested by the police. Was it smoke without fire? There were no provocation, because yesterday it was accusation from both the sides. The Muslims, they accused the Hindu community, those who were carrying out the procession by the right-wing groups. They provoked, that led to the clashes. The Hindu community said it was the Muslims who started stone pelting on the procession. That triggered the clash. So clearly, now several questions are also being asked to the Delhi police, but for now, it is totally calm and peace out here. We'll have to see when a court is going to hear the application filed against the Delhi police investigation and how it finds out further.
Ashutosh, to the point that you mentioned, the criticism that the Delhi police is facing right now with the allegations that they're targeting one particular community. Have the cops really responded to this? Because there are multiple videos that have emerged. And while, the allegations by the Delhi police seem to be on one side, it's clear both sides instigated. It's clear both sides resorted to violence. And there are videos that show people who were part of the procession holding weapons. They had swords in their hand. They had sticks. They had, there are some who allege that, there were guns also being brandished.
And there is no official word from the Delhi police on it, whether they are going to, extend their probe in those terms as well, where there were provocative slogans, how the arsenals were allowed to carry out in the procession. And since there was already certain instances, in certain state during the Ram Navami procession, when it led to the clash, whether the permission for the procession was given out, and if that was the due diligence was followed, that is to provide adequate security, and particularly 1 round, 2 round procession pass, what exactly happened in the 3rd round. And as the FIR says, it triggered at 6 o'clock when the Muslim community were gathered at the Jama Masjid Mosque for Roza Iftar. That was the time when the procession passed, and that were led to the scuffle. So clearly the question is also being raised on the Delhi police that whether their investigation is only focusing on one group of the protesters who were part of the clash, or they are going to widen the probe and also, investigate those video we are mentioning about, that how arsenal were being carried out by the procession, those who were in the part of the procession. That question that remains, because there is no clear answer from the Delhi police at the moment.
We'll be asking those questions of the police as well. But Ashutosh, thank you for the moment, for joining us with all those details. Now, in the last 2 days, since these riots broke out on Hanuman Jayanti in Delhi, over 20 people have been arrested by the Delhi police. All 20 belong to one community. They're all Muslims, and the families of the accused have spoken out, saying that the accused here are completely innocent, that they're being targeted, and have referred to the Delhi police's action as a witch hunt. The BJP, meanwhile, is upping the ante. Leader Ashutosh Mishra, who's been lashing out at what played out in Jahangirpuri and lashing out at one particular community, has referred to this as a terror attack.
A day after Delhi Riots 2.0, the alleged key conspirators Ansar and Aslam Ali are nabbed by the police. Ansar is accused of triggering the scuffle, while Aslam Ali allegedly opened fire at the yatra. The pistol allegedly used by Ali has been recovered. A cop too was injured in the alleged firing by Ali.
इधर से सामने पथराव हो रहा था, उधर के तरफ मुंह करके खड़े थे उनको रोकने के लिए। वो दूसरे वाले दूसरे साइड में खड़े थे, वो उनके बीच में खड़े थे जी।
तो उस वक्त आपको गोली लग चुकी थी?
हाँ, गोली सामने से आई, जो लगने के बाद फिर मैं हॉस्पिटल चले गया। पहले मस्जिद पे वहाँ शुरू हुआ था, वहाँ बहस हुई थी, बहस फिर बाद में झगड़े में बदल गई, पथराव शुरू हुआ।
Families of the accused, though, have rubbished the allegations and claim that Ali has been falsely implicated.
जब पत्थरबाजी हुआ था तब आपका पति था?
सो था इधर घर में।
सोया था? वो पत्थर वहाँ पे नहीं गया था?
नहीं गया था।
तो पुलिस को आपने बोला था?
नहीं बोला था, मैं सो गई, वो उठा के ले चले। बाद में सुबह से बोला था रात में ये तुम्हारा पति के उठा के ले गई, तो मैं उसी से बारे थाने में आई थी।
पहले आपके पति को कभी अरेस्ट किया था पुलिस?
नहीं है,
पहली बार अरेस्ट किया।
Meanwhile, CCTV footage reveals another instance of shooting. Police are now trying to identify the shooter. Images show pistols, stones, bottles and swords were used in the clashes. BJP leader Ashutosh Mishra has called the violence a terror attack. He claims that people involved in Northeast Delhi riots in 2020 are the same who are involved in this latest violence.
ताहिर हुसैन से, खालिद सैफी से, उमर खालिद से, सबसे इनके कनेक्शन है। जब जहांगीरपुरी के आतंकी हमले की जांच हो रही है, तब अंसार के और बाकी अपराधियों के दिल्ली दंगों के क्या कनेक्शन थे, उसकी जांच भी जरूर की जानी चाहिए।
The police say the situation is under control now, but the clashes have raised some serious questions. Why were people in the Shobha Yatra allowed to carry swords? Why was the Yatra, which passed through a communally sensitive area, not given enough police deployment? Bureau Report, India Today.
Unfortunately, this kind of communal clashes and violence hasn't been restricted to the national capital, a state that's going to polls in less than a year from now and has seen maximum polarization in the last few weeks. Also saw violence break out. This happened in the district of Hubli in Karnataka, where clashes broke out, which led to even 12 policemen getting injured. So far, 20 people have been taken into custody. We get you all the details of exactly what played out in Hubli in our next report.
Hubli remains tense after vandalism on the eve of Hanuman Jayanti. It all started with a provocative social media post showing a saffron flag hoisted over the Mecca Mosque. A group of Muslims gathered at the police station to file a police complaint, and all of a sudden, a mob descended outside, pelting stones at the police station, eventually leading to violent clashes, which left 12 police personnel injured.
पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट वाले इमीडिएटली कंप्लेंट लेकर एफआईआर रेडी करे, उसको हम आने से पहले अरेस्ट भी किए थे। यहाँ मॉब ऐसा जमा, वो मॉब कहाँ से आया, कैसा आया, हमने क्या उसका मालूम ही नहीं हुआ। फिर बाद में थोड़ी देर के बाद जो है पथरावा चालू हुआ, कहाँ से पथरावा है मालूम नहीं।
Police fired tear gas and lathi charge to disperse the mob. Prohibitory orders against assembly of people was issued in the city as communal storm intensified. Over 40 people have been arrested, including the man behind the social media post that triggered the violence.
Complaint was filed against one person who has uploaded some video on social media. As per the complaint, case was registered. Immediately accused was also arrested. Again, a few people from there started pelting stones at the police officers, those who are on duty. Those who are involved in this violent activities will not be spared. We will take strict action against all of them.
Politics over the communal clashes continues to peak. Karnataka government has called this violence a conspiracy.
ಯಾರೇ ಕೂಡ ಕಾನೂನನ್ನ ಕೈಗೆತ್ತಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗೂ ಅವರನ್ನ ಬಿಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅನೇಕ ಬಂಧನಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ, ಇನ್ನೂ ಆಗ್ತದೆ.
ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಕೇರಳ, ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಕಾಶ್ಮೀರ ಆಗಬಾರದು, ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬೆಂಗಾಲ್ ಆಗಬಾರದು. ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ಅಪೇಕ್ಷೆ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಜನ ಶಾಂತಿಯನ್ನು ಬಯಸುವಂತ ಜನ, ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರು ಶಾಂತಿಯನ್ನು ಬಯಸುವಂತ ಜನ.
The BJP has alleged that there was a toolkit aimed at causing unrest in Hubli, similar to 2020 Bangalore riots.
ईजेहಳ್ಳಿ केजीहಳ್ಳಿ में कौन दंगा किया, वही लोग वही मेंटालिटी से हुबली में दंगा किया है कल रात.
What the government is saying that they feel that it's a conspiracy and an organized protest and not out of the blue. The government is now looking at an angle if WhatsApp messages were circulated or it was a pre-planned protest. That will be the doubt that the question will be looking at right now, and more arrest is expected in Hubli.
The Hubli violence is set to add more fuel to the polarization Nataka in Karnataka just months ahead of elections in the state. With Nagarjun Dwarkanath, Bureau Report, India Today.
And let's move on to the big political story of the day. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has set his eyes on his next poll goal, and it's his home turf, the state of Gujarat. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to be focusing on winning the mega match in Gujarat, where elections will be held later this year after the thumping win in Uttar Pradesh and 3 other states. So Prime Minister Modi is kicking off a 3-day tour from Gandhinagar today. He will reach the capital city at around 5 p.m, following which he is scheduled to visit Banaskantha, Jamnagar and Dahod. Prime Minister Modi will also inaugurate several developmental projects worth 22,000 crore rupees. He's going to be visiting the Command and Control Centre for Schools at around 6 this evening. Prime Minister also informed that the foundation stone for the WHO Global Centre for Traditional Medicine will be laid during his visit. Tomorrow, day after, in fact, on Wednesday, Prime Minister Modi will take part in the Global Ayush Investment and Innovation Summit that will be happening at Mahatma Mandir in Gandhinagar. Director General of the WHO, Dr. Tedros, will also be present during the 3-day visit. He's going to be participating in a few events along with Prime Minister Modi. Let's get you all the latest updates this morning on the investigation into the riots that broke out in the national capital on Saturday, on Hanuman Jayanti. There's been an endless political war of words, a whodunit over these clashes. The BJP now demanding that there be an NIA probe into the clashes. BJP MP Hansraj Hans has claimed that the Jahangirpuri incident was an international conspiracy to defame India. MNS Chief Raj Thackeray has called for a tit-for-tat response to such violent incidents. Meanwhile, AIMIM Chief Asaduddin Owaisi targeted Home Minister Amit Shah for this violence, saying clashes have become more common in Delhi after Shah took charge of the Home Ministry. He's also questioned why all of the accused, all the arrested are so far only Muslims. In the violence that broke out on Saturday, 20 people, including the prime accused identified as Ansar, have been arrested. 10 teams are carrying out the investigation as the crime branch has taken over the probe. So far, over 200 violence videos are with the cops and they're scrutinizing all of it to identify all of the accused.
मैंने यही पाया कि पीछे कोई साजिश है, जैसे सीक्वेंस बना के पहले किसी और स्टेट में फिर कोई ना कोई हो सकता विदेश से कोई ऐसा कोई नेगेटिव बैड एलिमेंट्स हैं जिनका काम है, उनका कोई धर्म नहीं होता, उनका कोई मजहब नहीं होता, जालिम का धर्म जुल्म होता है।
राजी, yesterday in Delhi प्रोसेशन हो रहा था हनुमान जयंती पे और स्टोन पेल्टिंग हुआ वो प्रोसेशन पे, उसको रास्ता
मुझे लगता है उनका ऐसी चीजों का जवाब वैसे ही देना चाहिए उन लोगों को, अदरवाइज उनको समझ में नहीं आएगा।
A day after Delhi Riots 2.0, the alleged key conspirators Ansar and Aslam Ali are nabbed by the police. Ansar is accused of triggering the scuffle while Aslam Ali allegedly opened fire at the yatra. The pistol allegedly used by Ali has been recovered. A cop too was injured in the alleged firing by Ali.
इधर से सामने पथराव हो रहा था, उधर के तरफ मुंह करके खड़े थे उनको रोकने के लिए। वो दूसरे वाले दूसरे साइड में खड़े थे, वो उनके बीच में खड़े थे
जी। तो उस वक्त आपको गोली लग चुकी थी?
हाँ, गोली सामने से आई, जो लगने के बाद फिर मैं हॉस्पिटल चले गया। पहले मस्जिद पे वहाँ शुरू हुआ था, वहाँ बहस हुई थी, बहस फिर बाद में झगड़े में बदल गई, पथराव शुरू हुआ।
Families of the accused though have rubbished the allegations and claim that Ali has been falsely implicated.
जब पत्थरबाजी हुआ था तब आपका पति था?
सोया था इधर घर में।
सोया था? वो पत्थर वहाँ पे नहीं गया था?
नहीं गया था।
तो पुलिस को आपने बोला था?
नहीं बोला था, मैं सो गई, वो उठा के ले चले। बाद में सुबह से बोला था रात में ये तुम्हारा पति के उठा के ले गई, तो मैं उसी से बारे थाने में आई थी।
पहले आपके पति को कभी अरेस्ट किया था पुलिस?
नहीं है,
पहली बार अरेस्ट किया।
Meanwhile, CCTV footage reveals another instance of shooting. Police are now trying to identify the shooter. Images show pistols, stones, bottles and swords were used in the clashes. BJP leader Ashutosh Mishra has called the violence a terror attack. He claims that people involved in Northeast Delhi riots in 2020 are the same who are involved in this latest violence.
ताहिर हुसैन से, खालिद सैफी से, उमर खालिद से, सबसे इनके कनेक्शन है। जब जहांगीरपुरी के आतंकी हमले की जांच हो रही है, तब अंसार के और बाकी अपराधियों के दिल्ली दंगों के क्या कनेक्शन थे, उसकी जांच भी जरूर की जानी चाहिए।
The police say the situation is under control now, but the clashes have raised some serious questions. Why were people in the Shobha Yatra allowed to carry swords? Why was the Yatra, which passed through a communally sensitive area, not given enough police deployment? Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's get you all the updates from the ground. Ashutosh Mishra joining us live from Jahangirpuri. Ashutosh, we understand that a forensic team has also reached the spot where exactly the riot and the clashes broke out to collect all possible forensic evidence in this case.
Well, absolutely. This is going to be a critical part of the investigation, because without the forensic things and all the accusations that have been made, and particularly the FIR that has police filed, the forensic evidence are really going to be significant. So that's the Jama Masjid that you see, an epicenter where the clashes broke out. Of course, that area has been totally barricaded. There is no entry exit for anyone except the police and the law enforcement agencies, the forensic team. Subsequently, these shops, because this residential colony is surrounded by almost multiple shops, there are multiple CCTV cameras have been placed. So the police is also investigating shop by shop. They are collecting the CCTV footages. Moreover, the video footages, those were viral. Besides, now the CCTV footages are also going to be significant, because the procession that passed from this stretch, from the epicenter, and this is where the further clashes broke out. So that is the first place where it all started. And then when procession broke out from this side, this was the place where the clashes further triggered, erupted. And clearly the vehicle that was seen burned down, that's another place. There you see everything cordoned off totally by the security forces, the Delhi police, the paramilitary forces, anti-riot forces. So all these investigation has already been begun since the probe has been handed over to the crime branch. So those who are the witnesses, the victims, their statements are going to be crucial. These evidences, forensic evidence is going to be crucial.
And it could also come up in the Supreme Court today. Ashutosh, thank you for those details. Let's cut across to the breaking news also coming in of a PIL that's been filed in the Supreme Court in this matter, seeking handing over of the investigation into the Jahangirpuri riots to the NIA. Vineet Jindal, lawyer, is joining us on this broadcast. He's filed that PIL before the Supreme Court. Mr. Jindal, thank you for speaking to us here on India Today. Can you give us details of your PIL and what your request is before the court?
Yes, I have filed in PIL before the Supreme Court of India. A specific reason behind this is there several incidents has been taken place in different cities of our country. Since past 10 days, we have seen different stone plating incidents. 3 persons have been died, several thousands of persons have been injured severely. So the state police has been investigating this matter, but for this kind of matter, a specific purpose NIA has been formed. That's why I have filed a PIL to hand it over that investigation. So the investigation should be taken place in a complete manner, and the investigation should be completed as soon as possible, because this is an act of sovereignty of against sovereignty of our country, and we have not been denied, because this is not a coincidence. As Ram Navami position and recently the Jahangirpuri incident on Hanuman Jayanti Yatra, which has happened, we have seen, and there is kind of question mark upon the timing of this incident. So in last 10 days, 7 cities have been affected and several people have been targeted. Ram Navami position has been targeted. Hanuman Jayanti Yatra has been targeted. Yeah. So we can we are surely say that they are a hand of this kind of organization like PFI and ISIS connection should be there. So this kind of matter should be investigated by the NIA, as there are different cities, different police officials are there. Involvement has been, they have their own jurisdiction. They have, they cannot go beyond that jurisdiction. But NIA has an vast jurisdiction. They can investigate anything. They can interrogate anything in all over India. So to conclude this matter as soon as possible, I have filed PL before the Supreme Court.
Mr. Jindal, can we then say that you don't have trust in the Delhi police investigation, because there's also another letter petition that's been submitted to the CJI questioning why so far all those who've been arrested belong only to one community, and thereby the Delhi police can't be trusted. Do you echo that sentiment?
No. It is not like that. All the state police and Delhi police has done a tremendous job. If you see in last almost 1.5 days, they have arrested 21 people, and it is not about a particular community. They have been arrested 5 Hindu persons and the other Muslim persons. So those that were involved, they are arrested. But the issue is whether this incident has been connection with some international organization. Those who are targeted the sovereignty of India, they have trying to create any kind of harmony in our country. So this is a question. The police has done their job. In that, there is no doubt. I have full confidence in Delhi police. They have done tremendous job. But the investigation now, they have their part is something different. My question is that how can a Delhi police can investigate the matter or the persons, those who are involved and belong to some other cities?
Okay.
So this is the question. That's why I am requesting the Honorable Supreme Court and file a PIL for this purpose.
Okay, thank you, Vineet Jindal, for joining us here on India Today. So the lawyer there has filed a PIL before the court seeking an NIA investigation, saying all of these incidents, these riots that have happened on Hanuman Jayanti in Delhi, as well as all of the incidents of violence that were reported on Ram Navami, all of it is connected and linked. Let's move on to some other stories that we're tracking this morning. Worrying spike in COVID cases in the national capital. Now in Delhi, over 500 COVID cases have been reported in the last 24 hours. 517 new cases have been reported. The positivity rate stood at 4.21%. You see in that graph how the number is steadily going up. And Delhi has been witnessing that kind of an upward tick in the last few days. Now, what we can also tell you is that the city had recorded 461 COVID cases. This was on Saturday, along with 2 deaths, while the positivity rate was 5.33%. Compare that to Sunday, you see that the cases have gone up. There were no deaths, fortunately, on Sunday. The positivity rate has gone down because of additional testing as well. So the numbers are steadily going up in the national capital. In view of this, the Delhi government's Directorate of Education has issued an advisory to all private schools in the city. This advisory was issued on April 13th. 65 people, including 19 school students, tested COVID positive in neighbouring Noida as well. Here on India Today, we're not taking our focus away from what's playing out in Ukraine. 54 days and counting, the war rages on, and we've been constantly getting you ground reports from Ukraine to tell you what the situation is. Maushmi Singh has now visited the town of Orehov, where the Russian assault continues.
We are joined by Mykolaiv, who is an officer at the press office here with the military, and we will take his reaction even as you hear constant bombardments that are happening on the other side. Sir, what is happening?
На данный момент мы наблюдали, как начали в очередне бомбить місто Оріхів, яке не має тут військових всередині, але прильоти, як ви бачили, зруйнована хата, зруйновані заклади освіти, в тому числі і дитячі, і юнацькі. І це, на жаль, проходить зараз на постійній основі. Щойно ми спілкувалися з одним з цивільним чоловіком, який залишився тут, на жаль, він каже, мені вже більше 80 років, і я не полишу цю домівку свою. Він каже, то дуже багато щодня. І він каже, що я збиваюся з рахунку, постійно рахую, але це вже не має сенсу, тому що дуже багато прильотів. Постійно працює міномети, артилерія, РСЗВ, і люди показують, що знаходять снаряди. І знаходять снаряди, на жаль, у себе на подвір'ї.
In this town is no basic Ukrainian soldier. It's not soldier in this town, but Russian soldier attack this town, attack building people. Destruct school, destruct many house, no window, no water, no gas, no electric car. It's very hard to live there, but old people, they have no another house. They must live there. Oh my God, we must go.
We have to go very fast. There is a lot of bombardment that is happening. Shelling happening continuously in the morning.
Что-то прилетает, что это?
Работают РСЗВ та реактивні снаряди. Зараз бомблять місто.
Plumes of smoke, bombardments, missile attacks is what we see in this in the backdrop. Continuously, you can see that There are missiles, bombardments in that Oro village, which is full of civilians, as Officer Mykolaiv just told us. But still, the war continues unabated, actually disrupting human lives and affecting the ordinary people, the ordinary citizens of this country that have been torn by a war.